Hello everybody. Today I want to discuss another controversial VR topic. This time we will be talking about developers dropping Oculus Quest 1 support for their games. Now in case you haven't heard, two major VR titles, Population 1 and Pavlov's Shack, are planning to drop Quest 1 support shortly. Now this causes a problem for quite a lot of people, for obvious reasons. But in some cases, it's also really immoral for the developers, as well as completely unnecessary. Now before we get into it, I want to take this time to encourage you to comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you end up liking my content, because these videos take quite a bit of time to make, and I make no money off of them. I'm hoping this will one day change, however, and video interaction plays a key part in this, so please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Alright, with that out of the way, let's talk about why Quest 1 support is being dropped, and some of the implications of it. So the why. The reason these developers are dropping Quest 1 support is for a really simple one, and quite frankly, it's because they are lazy. Now, I'm not saying laziness in game development is always a horrible thing. After all, when you think you can get away without something, why would you spend all that time making it? However, in this case, it's rather serious. So essentially, Quest 1 support is being dropped because they want to improve graphics for Quest 2 users without having two different versions of the game. This is why game developers are dropping Quest 1 support. Now, this reason isn't exactly valid, seeing as PC games have had different graphics settings for different levels of hardware, so there is no real reason that these Oculus games can't have them as well. Again, it mainly comes down to laziness. Now, how it affects VR gamers as a whole. Obviously, it means that gamers with Quest 1s will no longer be able to play some of their favorite games, including games other than Pavlov and Population 1. Because if there is little consumer outrage, then some other games are likely to follow suit. This move could also have negatives for Quest 2 owners, however, as well as a positive. The positive for the Quest 2 users is that developers who simply aren't willing to make separate graphics for separate devices will now be willing to improve graphics of some of their games, even if it's only the Quest 2 owners that benefit from this. Now there is also a significant negative that you likely didn't foresee. Let me explain. The Quest 1 has been out for about 3 years now. A year after its release, the Quest 2 came out, a device which is now 2 years old. Now this October, Meta has confirmed to be releasing its new line of VR headsets. See where this is going? If it becomes common practice to drop headset support after 3 years, and once a more popular upgrade has been released, then all you Quest 2 users are going to be out of luck very soon, as eventually games will lose support for the Quest 2 as well. Now, this may come as a surprise after all I've said, but I'm not fully against all of this, because really it depends on the game situation. Take Pavlov for instance. I know I'm usually less than kind to the developers of Pavlov, but in this case they really aren't in the wrong. The reason for this is that Pavlov's Shack is still in beta, on App Lab, not the official store, and is currently free. As unnecessary as it is, and as much as no longer being able to play your favorite game sucks, they aren't really obligated to support Quest 1. Population 1, on the other hand, is a completely different story, and here's why. Population 1 released only 2 years ago, and unlike Pavlov, is not only a paid game, costing around $30 or so US, but it also has paid skins, meaning that you can spend quite a bit on it. So players who bought Population 1 for their Quest 1 and maybe paid for some skins are now forced to decide between spending $400 for a new VR headset after only 3 years or losing access to the game which they paid quite a bit for. You can see why this is a fairly serious situation, right? So in other words, I'm against recently released paid games dropping support for the Quest 1, while I am not so against free beta games dropping support. I'm also very understanding of developers who are developing games just for the Quest 2, as you have better hardware to work with, and people buying said games know that it won't be supported by the Quest 1. That's all I really have to say on this topic. Quick little update about the channel though. Sorry I haven't uploaded in the last 2 months. I got a seasonal job that required I spend time in places where I didn't have much access to technology, aka the middle of the woods. Going forward, I should be able to make a lot more videos in my free time, and just a reminder that these take quite a bit of effort and time to make. So if you want to support the channel, all I ask is that you like, comment, and subscribe. Now have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time for what I believe to be one of my best videos yet.